So Samantha gets kidnapped from this coffee kiosk thing late at night, and they're not treating it quite with the urgency they would if, some rich woman in California, had this happen to her. And days go by, and then a ransom note appears on like a park bulletin board.
Yep.
And it shows a picture of her holding a newspaper that is dated post the date of her abduction. So they know actually this is legit. So this is from a person who really has her. And then what happens?
And then they go to Samantha's father. The kidnapper is demanding like $50,000, $60,000. He's already started what would be considered now like a GoFundMe. The community is donating money. James is not a man of means. And James is frantic. But they say, okay, now is the time to wire the money into this account. And James says, I don't want to. And then the FBI gets a tip from someone who knows James and says, he's acting strangely. He yelled at my daughter, a friend of my daughter's, because she made some t-shirts, find Samantha, and she's selling them. And James is very upset that we're making money off of that. So now the FBI is, and Anchorage police are really confused because when they door knocked James, he wouldn't let them in the house after Samantha went missing.
So now he's looking suspicious.
So now they're looking at him, and they're looking at the boyfriend who has been living with Samantha and James, and they don't know which end is up. But they've never encountered a parent who is resistant to giving the reward money to the kidnapper who's promising a return.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then they do get money deposited into her account, and the kidnapper starts making withdrawals with her ATM card, which is, by the way, how he gets caught. But who made the deposit into her account?
James eventually relented, and they said, he's going to ask, he's asking for this much. We only deposit this much because now we have him. We're in contact, and now it's a negotiation. So that's conversation. He doesn't seem to realize that using this ATM card, they're like 5 minutes behind him every time he withdraws. They're like 5 minutes behind him, and he knows what he's doing because he knows where all the surveillance cameras are in any given place he's going. He's covered up. You cannot see. It looks like it's a man. You can't really see. Then it stops working in Anchorage. The card stops pinging there, and then it starts pinging in New Mexico, in these very tiny towns in New Mexico. And up in Alaska, it's like a movie. It's like these FBI agents get word that her card's pinging down there, and they jump out of bed and they rush to their war room at the FBI field office, and they're calling bank managers in Lordsburg, New Mexico, saying, can you get there? Can you get there? And the first one they called was like, sorry, I'm sleeping. I'm not getting out of bed for this.
Oh my. No, it's a serial killer. Well, I guess that was just a suspicion at the time.
They knew they had someone who abducted this young woman. They still didn't know whether she was in on it or not. It was very suspicious, a guy that sophisticated. If this is a true stranger abduction, they're very rare. So it's easy to see why the theorizing was such that it's the boyfriend, it's the father, she's in on it, whatever. They couldn't figure out why he would be using it. It's such an easy mode of detection.
It's so bold because it's so easy, right? To see, oh my God, her ATM just pinged again.
Yeah.
Where? And it is sort of how he got caught because he made the mistake of letting his car get caught on camera at one of the locations, right? And so they saw what kind of make, model, et cetera, of car, and maybe even the license plate, I'm trying to remember. But they tracked that car, and that's how they found him.
This was also incredible police work, and this is where the Texas Rangers come in. And these guys are such badasses. They are just like Jeff Bell, who is one of the main guys in Alaska. I think he's from the Northeast, maybe originally. I don't know. But he was like, when he went down to Texas and met the Texas Ranger who led that manhunt that caught Keys, which was a very cinematic event. Because Keys was driving the most commonly rented vehicle in the United States of America. So it really was needle in a haystack. He was like, oh my God, this is a Texas Ranger, just like in the movies, like a real badass, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So they track him down. They arrested him, and they found incriminating materials in his car. Like, it was kind of Bob's your uncle once they found him. He was not banking on cops pulling him over.
No.
And so then they bring him in for this interrogation. Now, who does the interrogation? Like, is it the feds? Is it the Jeff Bell of the Washington?
Well, first it's Ranger Steve Rayburn, since retired, and an FBI agent named Deb Ganaway, who was looped in very quickly as all of this was unfolding in a very kinetic, moment-by-moment fashion. And Steve Rayburn told me that they were so caught off guard that they didn't even have like a two-way radio, like a two-way audio system set up in their interrogation room. So they had to go to Target and buy a baby monitor.
Oh no. So people could listen to it outside of the room?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this is how MacGyverish, and like they had no idea who they were dealing with. They really didn't. They knew he was dangerous. They knew he had this woman. The lead agent on the case, Steve Payne, even in that moment, he's up in Alaska sitting at a car at one of these coffee kiosks. And he's the one agent on this case who has been holding out hope that Samantha is alive. Jeff Bell took one look at that ransom note with the proof of life photo of Samantha. She's looking at the camera, dead center, with the print paper. And he took one look at that and said, she's dead.
How? How did he know that?
I don't know if he was just more dialed into the realities of what he factually was seeing, or if there was something unnatural that he picked up on. You know, Steve, by his own admission, did not want to believe it. He knew he was in denial about it. And even the search of his car was it was a multi-state mess, because he's up there worried that if they go into that car without the proper,
warrant.
What's the word for
warrant?
Thank you. Or they have probable cause, then everything they find, even if Samantha's body is in there, is thrown out. Like, it can't get in.
Yep.
But Deb says to Steve, down here in Texas, we have a much looser interpretation of this. And if we've got a bad guy,
good old Texas,
and we think he's got bad shit going on in his car, we can go into his car.
Here we have some of this. This is from the ABC doc Wild Crime, and it's dash cam footage from the moment that investigators decided to do a warrantless search on Keys's car. Here it is.
When we opened the trunk and the ranger started going through things in the trunk of the car.
There you go. Hey. Gray hoodie with glasses in a pocket and a mask.
We found a gray hoodie that appeared to be the same hoodie that the perpetrator had been wearing in the ATM videos. And in the pocket of that was this gray piece of cloth that looked like a mask. We also found the amber shooting glasses.
We got our gun.
So you're under arrest.
After he was put under arrest, he was transported to the Lufkin Police Department. The ranger and I do a thorough search of Israel's wallet, and we found Samantha's ATM card. Samantha's cell phone was in the car.
I mean, that's just devastating from a criminal standpoint. That's everything you need. You've got the victim's cell phone, you've got her license, and you've got his disguise that he was wearing all the times when he was making the withdrawals with her ATM card. Really strong.
Very strong, but they don't have a body.
And they don't know whether she's dead.
And they don't even know whether she's dead or alive.
Every once in a while, something comes along that reminds us of the power of storytelling. Something bold, meaningful, and grounded in faith. The Pendragon Cycle, Rise of the Merlin, is a new 7-part series from the Daily Wire based on the novels by Stephen R. Lawhead. In the series, as pagan gods fall silent and empires collapse, one man's faith lights the spark of a civilization reborn. It's a story about courage, order, and moral clarity. It's the kind of story Hollywood does not make anymore. Through blood, faith, and sacrifice, Merlin becomes the bridge between myth and history and shapes the destiny of kings. The Pendragon Cycle, Rise of the Merlin, premieres exclusively on Daily Wire Plus on January 22nd, 2026, Watch the new trailer now at pendragonseries.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.